At the fringes of perception, beyond the boundaries of your mind, just past the glow of the firelight, out of the corner of your eyes, you will find an edge case. Edgecase Podcast, coming September 10th. Learn more at edgecasepod.com.
I'm Zach Dresch, and you're tuning into the Dresch Code. Cody Code. Agent Cody Banks. Agent
Loads. The Dresch load.
There it is.
Dresch loads.
My dad caught me dreshing once.
Well played, sir.
We're off to a great start.
Anyways, it's episode 22 of our show, so we're well past the legal alcohol limit now.
Woo!
It's a very exciting time. Yes, last episode, not yesterday.
It's also St. Patrick's Day.
It's also St. Patrick's Day, so it's fitting.
It's a great celebration.
Yeah, it's a celebration. Celebration, bitch! Charlie Murphy.
Where's the whiskey?
Oh, it's at my house.
I noticed you got a celery-bration on your shirt.
Oh, yeah. It's a Boy Meets World reference. There's an episode where Corey feels average, and as he's saying that, he's standing next to a poster that says celery and has a picture of celery on it. Yeah, this is from that theory.
Where would you come up with that shirt? Where would you get it?
I think a friend of mine made it and just designed it and said, "Do you want one?" And so we bought it, and she's like, "Yeah, I got your shirt for you."
I mean, we kind of live in that point in time now. It's just like we have a bunch of random shirts on anything, just celery.
Unicorn. We're post-cultural singularity, so it's just all time periods don't matter anymore, and everything just mishmashes until our heads explode finally in 12 years.
Boy, I can't wait.
Scanners. Yeah, it's scanners. We're living in scanners.
I hope so.
It's just repeating tacos and cats. Tacos,
We're
cats.
lucky if we're scanners.
A lot better.
Taco Cat back is the same backwards as it is forwards. Mind blown. Damn it. San Pellegrino. Throughout the night, I've been drinking a San Pellegrino, so I'm going to just inflect that Italian accent. San Pellegrino. Yeah.
I mean, if we want to have an episode title, San Pellegrino.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I usually pick titles as we go through the episodes, little behind the scenes for you here. Yeah. But usually by the end, I've gone through 4 different titles that were oh, that's the perfect title. No, that's the perfect title. So
my dad caught me dreshing once.
Yeah, that could be it. Parentheses.
Undressing for the public.
Right. So last week, Tori Solon said the phrase "butt fucking naked," which is so that became the episode. Caught you butt fucking naked. Is that the episode title?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's something butt fucking naked.
Right.
We had to star it out for
censorship
purposes.
But we can swear however much.
The last time I was on. The last time I was on with Austin Kaus, the episode titled Vagatron.
Oh yeah, look at them beans.
Oh yeah,
them beans. Yeah. So the title of the last episode was Supergroup Gets Butt Fucking Naked.
There you go. Supergroup.
So that was the ultimate supergroup of supergroups. It was a great episode.
Butt fucking naked.
Yeah.
Yep.
BFN. It's like Bare Naked Ladies, but dirtier. Let's introduce the round couch this evening. I would call it the round couch, round table. Entrepreneur from You Best Not Be Steppin', Jordan Deffenbaugh. Yep. Welcome.
Hi.
Extraordinaire. We're all extraordinary here, so cool. Welcome. Musician, good friend of mine, Jacob Lemme.
Hello there.
Extraordinaire.
How are you doing?
Also good friend. We're all good friends here.
Oh, absolutely. And alongside me is my buddy.
Musician, Joey Hofer. Good friend, extraordinaire.
Hello.
Welcome. And stand-up comedian, good friend, extraordinaire, Cole Boeve.
Hello.
Who?
Cole Boeve.
Yeah. No, that was the actual. That's exactly how you should respond.
Cole Boeve San Pellegrino.
I mean, that's how you should respond to Jacob Lemme too. But
Good friend extraordinary. Yes.
we're all extraordinary.
All up in her. Oh, that was weird. All right.
Cold
How
line.
is
Up in her.
up in her? Yeah,
Adam
I'm
I had a hell of a time trying to enunciate my name when I went up the first time for an open mic. He's like, "Is it Boeve, Beef?"
See, my
Beef.
I figured just go. Like, when I first met you, I'm like, just go straight to the source. Ask him how do you pronounce your last name. My favorite thing right now is watching how each comic pronounces your last name.
Yeah, to try to work it out.
Beavis. Beavis.
And then we just roll with it. Well, then I start writing it in a whole different manner as well now too. So I think last week when Skylar was up there and he was hosting, I like wrote it super ridiculous on there, just like all drawn out and
Phonetically.
yeah. But he actually enunciated it correctly, which is the funny part.
It helped me when you said just do David Bowie with a V. That's Bowie. That's all.
Boeve.
Bowie. Nice.
Bowie's in space.
Bowie's in space.
I was about to cheese out when you were doing that impression. You sounded like Walter's son from Breaking Bad. It's like Bowie, just Bowie.
Pancakes. That's under oath. Show me what you got. Anyways, how this show works.
This show works? What?
This show. I take it. This show
God,
works.
now I'm doing it.
San Pellegrino.
We're 11 minutes in. We started talking about the show.
So how this show works is we take a question. I'm going to pass the junket around with each question, and we read it aloud, and we decide, does this pass or fail the Dresch code? Yes, meaning pass. We will talk about it. Fail, meaning no. Screw that question. Save it for another episode for someone who wants to talk about that question.
All right.
And simple as like very assertive and affirmative with their.
So that's what we need to be gauging it on.
Yeah.
Like just how we're.
If we're like pointing strongly at it, then yes.
Okay, got it.
So I will start us off with the first question.
We're more progressive, like modern time era right now. Like we have to be assertive. You got to get the point across.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
yeah.
It's 2019, guys. Let's do it.
You can't be like, maybe we can make a change.
No,
Like, no, you gotta make a change.
no, you gotta do something.
Yeah, do something. We got, in the words of Infant Sorrow, Russell Brand, we gotta do something. First question. What's one song you've heard in malls all the time that you'd be fine with never hearing again? I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I have a nightmare of a week.
Dude, fucking.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I'm in a group chat with this guy. Like I have like a whole list of what he's.
So I work at Bed Bath & Beyond, a wonderful place,
Right.
actually. I love it there. But our internet's been kind of fuzzy because of the weather, and so our music station is stuck on a loop
Oh,
of
no.
5 songs.
We've done that. That's happened.
Is that music, that service that does the, like, oh God. They're the worst.
Awful.
That's
Awful.
rough.
We're like, man, I wish we could just like plug our own phone in, but then BMI's gonna come in and sue
Right.
Bed Bath & Beyond, and that wouldn't be great.
Right, no.
So, yeah, but I've just heard Living on a Prayer, Dirty Laundry,
Oh God.
All-time low?
19... no, Dirty Laundry, Don Henley.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like all-time low. Why would it get all-time low?
That was old time low in a Bed Bath & Beyond.
1973 by James Blunt.
Oh.
God.
Stand by REM actually was
yeah.
the worst one. Because, like, every time it's just like, "Bah, stand in the place," and then I'm just like, I want to blow my brains out.
As much respect I give to
Yeah, I'm out
REM,
there.
you know, there are a lot of like things they do in their songs that just annoy the hell out
I
of
hate
me.
them now.
The one song that people love by REM for some reason that gets a lot of airplay, especially in stores, is "Shiny Happy People."
Oh god,
That song is friggin' annoying.
I used to.
happy people. See,
I used to-
dead on. That's dead on.
I actually used to work at
I'm so glad I have the audio gate on for this.
I used to work at Fairway actually, and like the last month, like I was like working there, like they installed a radio over there, and like they had like contemporary like pop on there.
Yeah.
And Shiny Happy People like played about like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Like on loop.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would vote for that as like a song that I'd be completely happy with not hearing for the rest of my life. But there's also Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve, and which is like, it's all right.
There's a lot of Train songs that I never want to hear again.
Okay, Train's like a band I'd be happy to never hear ever.
Drive By.
Help me, Soul Sister.
Yeah. Oh, that one too.
Their Christmas song that. Come on now, it's Christmas time.
Oh yeah, that one awful. And there's a new one like, it's up, let's go.
Oh, they're still making music?
Yeah, they're still going.
Oh God.
The one Train song I'd be fine with hearing, or actually 2. I'm fine with Drops of Jupiter for some reason. I'm okay with that one. And,
it's a good song.
And Meet Virginia. Those 2.
Yeah.
She doesn't know the dreams.
Well, see that I would agree with you on Drops of Jupiter, but like again, that was also another thing that played on Fairway Radio. It was like 5 times a day.
Yeah. I once went on stage once and said, "What's the singer of Train's favorite letter of the alphabet?" A. No one laughed except maybe Nick Holtz.
I believe they're solely responsible for like that like commercial like stock music that has like the ukulele and xylophone thing.
Oh yeah, the whole folk bringing or like folk pop.
Yeah,
thing. That kind of actually did bring about bring a bird to the whole.
It's Irish.
It's a Canadian pirate.
I'm sorry about spilling the rum there.
Canadian pirate.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I spilled the rum.
Are you talking about the booty?
Do you mind if I come aboard your boat?
It's okay if you don't want me in there.
Irish vampire, you have to ask.
A couple of hockey players came aboard my ship the other day.
Oh, Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Feel you.
That was a great show recently.
Not so bad. But yeah, Train or any Mumford & Sons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just that whole like wall of sound folk.
Yeah.
It's just like drums.
Crashes over
It's
the
got
head.
it's just like it's inspirational.
I
Like,
will
Get
wait.
through the day.
Like I
will wait for you.
I like those like spastic like accents in songs, but I mean like they just push they overdo it.
Yeah. There's this guy that did a dead-on Mumford parody.
Wait,
too. Is that the guy that's like, I can sing really soft? Yeah.
I annoy my neighbors.
But yeah, Mumford also 5 for fighting. Damn it.
I'm 99 for a moment.
That one?
That's a bad song.
Better than you. Yeah, that one's all the ones that catch me off guard are the religious. They just slide in a religious song.
Oh, yeah.
It's like super religious. Like you're sitting there and you're like you don't notice the stuff, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute.
What if God?
And the next thing you know, you're spitting out your sample cup that you got for somebody. You're like, I'm drinking the juice. Thanks. You almost got me, you fucker.
It's like throwing down some fucking Silent Night. Jamming some fucking Silent Night. That's good shit.
It's beautiful. Okay, Silent Night's beautiful. It's for Christmas songs. That is spot on.
I'm talking like the contemporary, like.
Oh yeah, no, contemporary. Yeah, no, that can go.
Yeah, see what I mean? How like all of a sudden,
ironically, that can go to hell.
You get like, you do get your training, and you're like, okay, whatever, I expect this. Next thing you know, you're still just bobbing your head and doing your thing. You're like, whatever.
And
then next thing you know, you're like, I'm gonna let Jesus inside of me, and then you're like, how much do I have? I know. I promised myself that I wouldn't happen again.
We're gonna be talking about that. I grew up with pastor parents. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. They're watching this tonight. So like I'd be going into a
Good news, he's taking me over for supper.
I would go into like this I would go into them like when I was a kid over at a crossroads, and the song that still bugs me to this day, I'd be happy to never hear ever again, but I still do, is Shine by the Newsboys. Like, shine with a weapon for a night. Well, wish that they were not on the outside looking for. Shine.
I never heard that one.
I don't know.
You never
heard that song.
Okay, then you know what? I'm pretty much sticking myself out like a sore thumb.
I think what else I've heard that.
But that's annoying.
Paul McCartney, Wings, simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
that one there.
Paul McCartney's great, but yeah,
I love
that song
it,
could
but
stop.
that song.
That whole album is amazing, except for that song.
It's
That
like
song takes it from a 10 to a 6.
It's sort of and you hear it. You know when you hear it, it's like this is the worst time of the year. It's like in retail. If you're in retail, it's just hell. It's like this is, and you just know. You are just.
It's like you discover.
Sorry.
Okay, you go.
Hell.
Yeah, it's like he discovered like Windows 95 MIDI by the year that he just made that song. It's like, whoa, I can make computer music.
My favorite song by Paul McCartney though is with "Temporary Secretary," which is straight up the first. It's like him just like fucking.
Ron, I'm gonna mess with your gate. Temporary secretary.
Thank you for that.
I saw him live.
I'm sure the 3 listeners left are and viewers are fond of that.
Hey Robbie, hey Lee.
I saw him live at the Denny actually playing that song. He did a really remarkable job at that. I'm surprised that was a flop for 1980s.
Yeah, I think it was just the time or something. Cause didn't he temporarily, pun intended, get in trouble with weed at an airport in 80s?
Oh yeah, he got arrested in Japan for that actually.
For a while, his career took a downward spiral for a little bit, and then he got back on track, and then just
because they found out about the weed.
Right, he'd been doing it for years.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, Paul's like, oh, I can just tour off my old stuff for life, and I'm fine. Because he had hundreds of gems from the 60s and 70s, so it's like, oh, I'll just tour these the rest of my life.
His latest album,
this is awesome.
Yeah. His latest album, Egypt Station, is actually really stellar. I think it's probably the best that he's done in a long ass time.
I've heard it's really good. Yeah. But yeah. I think that's all I can think of for mall songs that annoy the hell out of me.
So I got to bring up a special mention for one. I worked at a graphics shop, but it had a retail space in the front, and the owner insisted that the Muzak be pumped into both places. So in the back, we couldn't have normal print shop music, which would usually angry screaming or something like that. So we got this Muzak. Now the owner is super Christian, but doesn't listen to Christian music, so he sets it on the lowest censor rating on Muzak. So it's just the most. So it's all super super bland music that's forgettable.
And
but would you be the type of guy that would just listen to Skillet?
But
and
but when you set Muzak that way, there's one 80s song that I had never heard before that just kept coming up and I had to play once an hour, and my coworkers started laughing about me having conspiracy theories like Charlie Day with the string all over the wall about the song. I was like, the fucking song, it's on again, and it's called The Year of the Cat. It's the year of the cat. I don't even remember who the fuck sings it. I will Google it here shortly. But every fucking hour, there was never a 60-minute period where that song didn't fucking play, and that didn't seep into my goddamn brain for the year that I worked there.
You were so frustrated about it.
Yeah. They played only country today at Highview too, and I wanted to die. Oh. I heard started with a good night kiss and it brought.
What I can really appreciate about Fairway is they played really cheesy pop rock. That was better than radio country.
Right, yeah.
Al Stewart.
She doesn't give you time.
Well, this is great, actually. I'll see you around.
But anyway, at some point he says the year of the cat, and it's just you get the idea.
Okay, we can all
dead.
agree here. If anybody's going to be going to hell tonight, it should probably be Al Stewart.
Elves. Or cats.
Yes.
I like my cat. Maggie. Hi, Maggie.
Or, Muzak.
Yeah.
I also really
those fuckers have definitely got to be in league with Satan. I gotta.
Yeah. I like how we collectively can appreciate that we have like two different terms for music and muzak.
No, that was the actual name.
Yeah,
of the
that's
company.
the actual genre.
Yep. No, the name of the
it's
company.
The name of the company.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one company, because the guy that owned this place owned a whole bunch of McDonald's, and McDonald's has a national contract with Muzak,
Oh,
and they
surprise.
provide the music service that's like, you know, all the royalties taken care of and all that for every McDonald's in North America.
Oh,
and
wow.
so they also have the contract for like Best Buys and Targets and a whole bunch of like big box retailers. They have a box in the back that's from this. The company changed its name to Audio something like 2 years ago, but
Because they realized that Muzak was just a bad image on them at this point.
yeah, probably.
You could have made up some serious bullshit story, and I totally would have bought it because you were so convincing.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that story, but
It's true, damn it! It's true.
I believe it.
Look at my
But it was kind of cool with how it came. I was like, damn,
I'll get
that's
my
interesting. And then I was starting to think, like, man, that is a really random fact to know.
Get it roll!
Should be on
Get it roll!
Next question.
Yes,
Question.
for the love of God. Yes.
Thank you, Matt.
Let's see. What
Sir.
do we got?
It's going to make for a great lengthy podcast.
What albums took you a long time to appreciate?
Never mind.
I'll talk about it. Thumbs up.
Probably call him something.
Alright. I'll take it. Fully Ado by Fall Out Boy. It's a random one.
That's a good one. I will not lie, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I broke the rules by saying.
No, you're
before-
never mind.
I feel-
Why never mind? It was
They're
immediate
just
for me.
really all Nirvana. I just couldn't get turned on to them for a really long time. But I've always been a big Foo Fighters fan,
Oh, sure.
but I could never get into Nirvana.
Boy, have I got something to tell for you.
We jammed a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else want to go?
I don't really have one. I don't know. I usually
I was-
appreciate the album that.
I do too, but I'm trying to think. There's a good number of. I want to say Letter Alice by Tool. I make fun of Tool a lot.
Oh.
And I make fun of like their whole entire fan base because they are just like the scum, like the douchebag pseudo intellectuals they are.
Oh, sure.
Hey, you like DMT? Yeah, I like Joe Rogan. But yeah, and then like I finally I actually sat through an entire album of Letter Alice. They had some pretty good stuff going on.
Yeah.
I respect them as musicians.
I like Tool.
Yeah.
But I can only listen to like 3 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is to me at this point. It's just like I can only like listen to them in like spurts.
Yeah, I know Diehards. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I know the album.
yeah.
D2 The Mighty Ducks. The sound. So hear me out here.
Okay.
All right.
So like that album was the first CD our family ever bought when we bought a CD player in like 1992, 3.
Yeah.
And like we listened to it, but I wasn't really into it. Like I was more into like jock jams and whatnot, but that mix on D2.
It basically is jock jams. I'm looking at it here.
It is jock jams, but it's a better jock jam.
Yes, with a better budget.
Yeah, it's
What songs are on it?
Queen, We Will Rock You.
Oh, sure.
Poor Boys, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. Gary Glitter, Rock and Roll.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Wash, Mr. Big Stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay.
David Newman, The Mighty Ducks Suite. Tag team, whoop, there it is.
Hey!
There
There
it
it
is.
is. There it is.
The Trogs with
No
Wild
pun
Thing,
intended.
and Dear Daddies with Zamboni.
That one. Right there. That track right there. That's the best.
Jock jams come on my soundtrack the other day.
Why is Wild Things actually in so much like popular culture? Like for that, you remember that fake guitar thing that they sold at like Walgreens, where it played songs for you?
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, all of the commercials for that used Wild
Oh,
Thing by
Paper Jam?
Trogs. Yeah, Paper
Yeah,
Jam.
yeah.
That has it in it. Wild Hogs, that movie.
It's probably
has it in it.
it's probably a licensing thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a low cost license.
It's a licensing thing, I'm guessing. And then my other guess is that it's it's a song about rock and roll and rebellion that actually has like no swearing or like cursing overtone, like violent overtone. It's a very, if you actually listen to it, it's
safe
not.
song.
Yeah, it's a very safe song.
Well, there's the parentheses after Wild Thing. Actually, not
it's for those kids that are out there
basically.
going, to heck with you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And then they sneak dessert back to their room.
Yeah.
Weezer's Red album. In my opinion.
I mean, okay. I can get down with it. That's how the Red album sounds to me. Because that's the album with the cowboy hat on it.
I actually, you said the Zamboni song. I had to hear what this was.
That's not the.
That was Gear Daddy's Zamboni, but it was live.
Oh, okay. I want to try.
Oh, that's the album with like the song. I am the greatest man that ever lived.
I took it for what it is. It's hilarious to me now, but it's catchy.
I gotta revisit that. I don't remember. Like I listened to it once and I said like that was just garbage.
There was a couple songs on that album that are rough. There's one called "Everybody Get Dangerous," and the chorus is "Everybody get dangerous, everybody get dangerous," and someone goes "Booyah."
I like to imagine just like one like stoic, heavy-set German guy just going "Booyah."
Or Rivers.
Yeah. I tried to get into Tool. I bought Lateralis, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be that edgy kid. And then I was like, I can't fucking stand it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just had to be honest with myself. But the one that took me the longest to get into probably was Moon in Antarctica.
Modest Mouse?
Yeah, with Modest Mouse.
Oh,
that
sure.
one...
Modest Mouse was another band that had to like sit in with me for a bit.
You sit in with it, but then after that, you're like, all right, get it, Dad. Yeah. I've seen them a whole bunch of times now, and now here I am closer to 40 than I am 30 now, and I'm going to freaking probably go see him again here.
Oh, it's
and
Black
traveling,
Keys.
swallowing Dramamine.
Anybody see him when he stabbed himself in the stomach here in Sioux Falls?
Like 10 years ago?
Yeah, that was bananas.
I wanted to go to that show, but I regret not.
When I think... Oddly enough, I went there with one girlfriend, and then I took my wife to the very next time there. Something about Modest Mouse. Hopefully, I'm going to be there with the same lady this time around.
Yeah, they're with Black Keys this fall.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Yeah, out in Minneapolis.
That's a pretty good lineup. I gotta buy tickets for that.
Yeah.
Not for me, you son of a bitch.
Next question.
Next question.
All right.
You should put something randomly slimy in the bottom of the, jacket.
Ooh!
Peanuts.
Yeah.
Buggers! Greatest guitarist of all time.
I failed that one.
Yeah.
I failed that one. We gotta fail.
Well, I mean, I would pass it if there's an addendum between, like, genre.
I feel like this could get us
I'm thinking
into
of
a
really
deep,
crappy
dark
ones.
hole.
Favorite coffee beverage. What's with this?
Fail.
Here. Fail that one.
Lucky number 3.
Lucky number 3. God, what is it?
Get it?
They're also
Yeah.
Who are your top 3 favorite comedians?
Fail.
Okay, 4th time's a charm. Alright. I love Bill Hicks and Richard Pryor, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it. What is the most overrated song of all time? Bass? No?
I'll talk about it.
The most overrated song?
Of all time.
I think that passes.
I'll talk about that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, feel free to put the notes back in I threw out to you.
Those are the crotch notes.
Keto crotch notes.
I'm gonna take those.
As much as I like it, Hey Jude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I like it too,
It's safe, catchy, but it's overrated as well.
Tangent. Have you seen the trailer for that movie about the guy that, like, he wakes up one morning and no one's ever heard of the Beatles?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard
It's-
about it. Yesterday's what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
like a
I
Spike
saw
Kids.
the trailer for it, and I was just like, "That looks fucking amazing," and or just like funny. And there's a point at the end of the trailer where he's singing "Hey Jude," and they're like, "Why not just make it Hey Dude? That'd be so much better." And they're like trying to talk him into Anyway, tangent over.
Oh, the guy who made Slumdog Millionaire actually directed that movie.
Danny Boyle.
Yeah, Danny Boyle.
I will always love you. I will always love you is the most overrated song of all time, especially the Whitney Houston version.
I don't know that.
I would say the Whitney Houston version is overrated.
Dolly Parton one is
not the Dolly Parton one.
No.
Right.
Dolly Parton one is right where it is.
I get chills every time I hear
yeah.
both versions. I think that's a fantastic song.
I just can't do the Houston cover.
Really?
Can't do it.
It's
Love
too
it.
much. It's too much floral.
Yeah.
It's too much like.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like...
If you did as much cocaine as she did...
Well, that...
I mean, I get it. Why? I just am like I mean, not to okay. It's overrated, so it's not necessarily diminishing the quality of the singing or what is in it.
I guess
It's just
what song does the general public love for some reason? That's just like
Crazy Bitch.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Buck Cherry song?
I want that song to die.
yeah.
I just want
God.
Buck Cherry to die. If there's any band I can't stand from the early 2000s, it's Buck Cherry.
Yeah.
And I have friends who are big fans of Buck Cherry. I'm pretty sure I'm losing friends tonight.
I used to own that album too.
Why?
Because there's a couple other songs on it that were better that I heard on the radio.
But why?
I love that cocaine. Yeah, I love that cocaine.
No, that was the couple albums before. Why do I know that?
Oh, yeah! I like how you slap yourself.
it? Do you feel it?
I like how you slap yourself in the face. Like, why did I say that? Okay, most overrated song of all time, Mountain Song, Jane's Addiction to me.
What?
It's literally just like, it's literally like 80s, like, butt rock alternative.
Oh, I wouldn't say butt rock.
I will debate it, man. I mean, I have a big, like, distaste for Jane's Addiction.
See, I get if
the
you don't
first
like the
album
artist.
a lot, but
I love Jane's Addiction, but
But I also hear, like, Jane's Addiction, like, Mountain Song at a Guitar Center at least once every time I go in there. And I go there pretty frequently.
see, Guitar Hero ruined a lot of songs for me.
Yeah.
And also Guitar Hero ruined that for me, too.
Sweet Child of Mine. I can't really do that song anymore. Can't do Sweet Child of Mine. Slow Ride. Fuck Slow Ride.
Yeah, Slow Ride just.
Okay. You know, I'm gonna change my answer.
No, you already had your turn.
Damn it!
I would say fuck all of the parts that you actually hear in like movies and stuff of Slow Ride, because like that guitar solo and stuff is pretty cool, but no one ever wants to play that in a movie.
Also, for a while, every time I went to Century Theaters, they had the Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Guitar
And
Hero.
Slow Ride was always on when no one was playing. And it was always playing.
Carry
every
On
time.
My Wayward Son.
Kansas,
Guitar Hero
yeah.
killed that for me.
Yeah.
I bet 2 killed that for me, actually.
Hey, that's a good dress code question.
Are there any Guitar Hero songs that you liked because of Guitar Hero? Trogdor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trogdor. is
I
dope.
loved
John the
Trogdor
Fisherman,
so
Primus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Mother by Danzig. I don't care who knows
Oh
it.
hell yeah.
Dude, Mother, up my way. I can show you what's like. That guy was in the Misfits.
My neighbors have got to be like, what the fuck is going on down there?
My Bobby in our band does the best Danzig impression. Goes, do you think like Danzig warms up vocally in the vocal booth? And they're like, you ready, Glenn? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna change my answer. Like, I think the most overrated song. I like it, but it's got to be "Sunshine of Your Love" by Cream.
Oh yeah, I'd probably say
that one gets played a lot too.
I'd say that one's pretty overrated.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Free Bird.
Free Bird and Sweet
Freebird's
Home.
overrated. Sweet Home.
Just
any Skinner song, really.
Yeah, Skinner. Just.
Well,
Yeah.
Needle and the Spoon's a really good song.
That smell.
That smell.
I think about that song.
Give me back my bullets.
Give me back. My dad likes that one. Actually,
That's a good song.
That's a jam. That is a jam.
Born on the Bayou.
Credence is amazing.
Yeah.
Vietnam the band.
Vietnam.
Literally all their songs about Vietnam.
Not all of them.
Okay, I guess not all of them, but most of them. Like the biggest ones are all about Vietnam.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Well, that wasn't
You know, he was a good friend of mine.
But he was a good friend of mine,
Yeah, he
yes.
was a
Three
good
Dog
friend of mine.
Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three Dark Night.
Great band.
Okay, fine. Everything CCR has ever done is tied to Vietnam. Fuck it.
Hey Soul Sister. Most overrated song.
I could agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
We were just complaining about Trey not too long ago.
Yeah.
She doesn't know.
Hey, so, sister. Prince. See, if Prince had covered "Hey Soul Sister," I probably would have listened to that. Hey Soul Sister.
Lee Burns says "L.A. Woman" by The Doors.
I like how we can make a drone out of this.
You seriously don't want anyone to listen to this podcast, don't you? So, Casey says Foo Fighters' Everlong was kick-ass on Guitar Hero.
True.
That actually what got me into Foo Fighters was Everlong and Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
That was a good.
And Monkey Wrench.
Monkey Wrench was sick.
See, I appreciate
Name Fire by Bullet for My God, I hate that song.
Psychosocial by Slipknot.
Oh yeah. When Bullet for My Valentine was in Sioux Falls, I went for Alice in Chains and they were playing before Alice in Chains. You could tell the singer had no idea what city he was in. He kept just calling us fuckers. That was
you you fuckers.
It's creepy here, you fuckers.
See, I can just imagine him just be like a Hot Topic Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
So I work a lot of Premier Center events and doing that stuff, and every single concert's like that, and everybody reacts the exact same way. We're like, da-da-da-da-da, song, go through the same format, yell city that we're in the middle of a song, everybody goes crazy because he wouldn't do it anywhere else, and then they all come down again, and that shit drives me bananas.
The same dialogue with each song, just changes the city name. That's all it is.
100%.
Yeah.
Every single freaking artist that comes through like that.
Just phones it in.
Yeah. That's what I feel like Billy Corgan did when he came here. It was really...
Dude, it's like as much as like impactful Smashing Pumpkins was to my life, I did not want to go to that show.
It was...
I liked it.
It was decent, but I could have done without a whole bunch of the other stuff. And you could tell they were just up there like,
Yeah.
Just kind of rolling through it.
Yeah. And that's all I didn't want to go. I mean, like I've watched like videos on YouTube, but like they were like potential of what they were at. With Prime, and it's like
they opened up well.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I liked. They played a lot that I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
However, I would have.
And they also played a lot that I didn't care about.
Yeah.
This one's off the new album. Yay!
I could have done without the Stairway to Heaven cover.
Yeah.
Good.
I didn't mind it.
It was okay. I was just like, you could have done other songs that you haven't.
Didn't they play that for like? I heard they played that for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was like 10. That's still long.
It definitely went on.
Still felt forever.
Yeah.
That song's not usually 30 minutes long, but we got into a serious thing.
And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
But yeah, they actually made a joke about how long the show was going on. Like, James Eha goes, "Yeah, we're going to play Enya's record front to back, and then we'll finish our set." That's a joke. Like,
I like that.
James Eha was the main guy talking between songs too, because Billy was obviously singing everything. So
yeah.
James was the one talking. Like I liked how James Eha did it though. He made it kind of funny. Like, "What's up, Sioux Falls?" He said that kind of
jazz fingers.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we've covered that one. All right, Joey.
All right.
Next one.
Alrighty.
Guess me favorite energy drink or something.
What's your most notorious nervous tick on stage?
I'll talk about it. No. Joey doesn't want to.
Yeah, passes.
If you have
on
something.
stage.
No, I
That you realize that you do.
Yeah. Lead with the forehead. Like this, like so if I'm on stage, sometimes I'll like be looking down or moving forward. So like just having your chest out, if that makes any sense. Like lead with the chest, not the head. At least that's from like acting and shit. Tits.
Oh, mine. I put my left hand on my hip when I am unsure of a joke on stage. If I don't feel great about it, but I'm still gonna tell the joke anyways. Like I'm just like, so like, do you think there's a bank in Fargo called Wells Sioux Falls? And I just do some joke like that. Just like, and if they laugh, I take my hand off. So a lot of the comics, like use the mic stand as a security blanket.
Yep.
A lot of the time, like they hold on to it.
Yep.
I've noticed that. Or like they'll have it up to their left, and they just hold on to it, and talk and hold on to it at the same time.
Play with it.
Yeah.
I will say I like it.
You've mentioned that before, and I can't unsee it now. And like during Snow Jam and stuff like that, like I could see every comic had their like thing they did with the and it's because you mentioned it. Now I can't unsee it when I watch a performance.
Yeah.
I like when Andy's like going full on like primal up there, and just ripping into people and just dragging it back and forth. I'm like, it's like my favorite thing watching Andy just rip into people. I'm like, oh, here he goes.
My favorite's when he throws his hat down. Just like
all of a sudden, I just heard Andy Swan get really angry with us.
Yeah. It's like there's a bit he does where he's like, I have a cheeseburger. That's a burger with cheese on it. He throws his hat. Like,
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's got a great presence. Yeah, he's easily one of my favorite comics around here.
Oh, dude.
Like, hands down.
Dude's like one of my favorite like Swan moments actually was not him on like doing stand up. It was actually like I think we were at a metal show, and like he was like doing like he was like from like mosh pit retirement, but like people were just like egging him on to like go into the mosh pit. Then all of a sudden like he just starts like just walking across angrily across the pit, and like people were trying to push him, just like boom. And then, like, people would just, like, be flown, like, 10 feet away from
I
think
I remember the show. Was that Knocked Loose when they played here?
Yeah, I think so.
Icon, when every time a guy was here. Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
He told me he was going out of mosh pit retirement for that show.
See, one of my... so we just turned this into a Swan moment, but one of my earliest memories of Swan, because we're about the same age, and we went to a lot of same shows, and for whatever reason, I can remember people's faces all freaking time. So I remember Swan. I didn't know him, but I remember him. I remember being a lot of the shows, and we're at the Ramkota, and we went to some metal show. And I'll never forget, we all went outside like a bunch of cool kids to have cigarettes. And next thing I know, I'm like 99.9% sure Swan, some other dude. They're just like standing there, and they go out and they're like, oh, let's do it. And they just started beating the piss out of each other outside the freaking thing. And I'm like, what's going on? And then it was over, and then everybody went back inside for the show. And I'm like, all right. And then like now, whenever I go into the hospital, grab some food and stuff, Swan's always, I'm like, oh, you got from all the metal shows. And I'm like, you're that angry comedian. Yeah, that's funny. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So, anyway, ticks.
I think one of my ticks that I get from my shows is like I'll end up like speaking way ahead of myself to a point where I just kind of like just start mumbling a lot.
Oh, sure.
So I'll just be like, "Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's really good to be out here and stuff. And it was good to be in Sioux Falls. Yeah, okay, next song."
It's certain stage banter with music in town.
Stage banter is
always
just
awkward.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's
you know who did it really well? What was it? Lot Lizard, I think. Is that the?
Lindy.
Yeah, Lindy's
yeah.
That Lot Lizard.
Yeah.
I think that's who I'm thinking of. Or no, I'm thinking of Little Lizard. The one that I recently saw with the.
Lot Lizard's great too.
Lot Lizard is great too.
Little Lizard.
Little Lizard, the trombone and bassist, and then he also does sampling on.
Shay and Liz.
Yeah,
I love those guys.
Yeah, they're really really good, and it's just like you can tell they're having a groovy time, and like it's very genuine.
Yeah,
they're like a trombone. They do a real good job of they do a real good job of like their whole like stage presence. They're like a nice like little quirky like synth trombone and bass duo.
Yeah. And
like they pretty much have it all down to like the dance moves, and like they hardly like even like make banter. Like their banter is like in a sample. So like a lot of their stuff that would like do for transitions, they'd be like, "Little Lizard, little lizard. And honestly, that's probably like the best banter I could ever hear.
Yeah.
It's just like having that on repeat. It saves like a lot of the awkward tension going on with the band.
Yeah, for me, I like doing stage banter, especially since I've done stand-up and stuff, but the awkward thing is I'm a drummer, and it's awkward for the drummer to be the one doing stage banter in a four-piece rock band.
What does he get him like?
Hey, guys.
Hey. Hi.
Are you alive?
I can't see you. But if you're there, hope you're enjoying the show.
Can I get you anything?
Buy our merch!
Can I get you anything?
Get our
I'm
shirts!
in the back.
Buy our shirt. Here's the next song. Buy our buttons. Alright, next track. This one's called Buttonhead. That's how I count off.
Fuck, I'm accidentally playing Lacquerhead, but Primus!
My most notorious nervous tick on stage. You get a really weird boner.
Weird boner.
Yeah.
Like
It's just enough, and you can tell, like, the more nervous that I get, it goes up kind of like a Geiger counter. It's like
a San Pellegrino.
Yeah, like a San Pellegrino. Yeah, it says there. Yeah. Kind of like that.
It's an awkward gauge.
So, yeah,
Like
this week when I'm doing my sets, you guys can watch. So keep an eye on that. Come on down. Have a look.
His pants are moving. He's doing it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Like a live stream of it. You set the camera up.
Pants cam.
Pants cam. Just checking it in to see the blood flow.
Yeah, put a GoPro.
Yeah.
How nervous is he?
Thermal imaging for this one.
Hey, Cole said he's going to try out some new material this week. I bet you that thing is going off. Damn it, I ruined more pants that way.
Like the pants shop knows you by name.
Yeah, like, here comes old nervous boner guy.
Yo, it's just Cole now.
Yeah, get him the stretchy bits. Probably my most nervous tick is I start to pace more. I think the more nervous I am, I start pacing quite a bit, and I'm like, nah. But now I think, like, since I ate shit like at the competition, just trying out new stuff from the day of, and I know the day was coming, but I just completely ate shit and couldn't really remember anything from my set. I was like, I don't even remember what I'm talking about. Moving on. Yeah. Now I actually, like, I'm trying to structure things and, like, see what I want, but then also give myself some options in between that I want to. So now I go up there, I'm like, I'm just having fun. Go up there and just talk. So I feel like I'm slowing it down. My wife, she, as everybody knows, I endearingly call her the Germinator. So she's from Germany, and she's fucking ruthless, man. And she keeps to me and tells me what I need to know. And like today, she'll tell me, Cole, you need to shut the hell up when you're on the microphone. But that's what I'll do. She's like, don't pace so much. And I'm like, what? And then you pace a lot. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I do pace a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So
criticism.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I can assure you. She will criticize me until the day I die. I can be there. She'll be on her deathbed, and she'll be like, Cole, come here. And I'll be like, what is it, dear? And she'll just tell me, quit fucking doing that. And then she'll just die.
That's her last one.
She'll be like, get some Mentos.
Yes.
Fix
your collar. Yeah, fix your collar.
Fix your collar. I could have looked nice.
It's the fresh maker.
Alright. See what kind of great savings we got in here.
Ooh.
Oh.
I just realized those cards say price tag.
I'm not even gonna do that one. We've done so many music.
Wait.
There's a lot of music ones in this guy.
Well, scusi.
Here's one we can do here.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna. You're gonna agree with me. With how the music industry is going, which genre do you feel to be the reigning king? See?
It was a good call.
Yeah, I know my crowd.
Hold up. Anybody got a pair of glasses on them? Oh, fuck it. Hi, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Today we're going to be talking about the current state of the music industry.
Again.
All right, I like this one though. Where was the first place you were molested?
That's not a question.
That's not a question.
That's what it says.
Yeah, see?
It's
What?
Yeah,
No,
no. I like Zach for a second. He's like,
I didn't write that.
Oh no.
Who typed that in the comments section?
Most interesting hospital visit. I think I spent a lot of time in the hospispital, folks.
I don't really have a whole lot of stories that are like
No.
interesting.
Fails.
Well,
I mean, I can get deeply personal, but I mean, it's just like, yeah, no. Talking about funny. So far, it's a funny haha.
Yeah.
this one isn't even debatable.
Oh, this one's
Who would win
long.
in the Mortal Kombat? Betty White or Keith Richards?
Ooh.
Shao Kahn would show up. In
What era?
Shao Kahn.
Yeah. Wait, is it current?
I'd say current. Talk about it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it.
Talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, we'll talk about it.
All right.
Current.
So,
Betty White.
can you clarify what was the?
So what kind of magic
The
is
question
that
was, not that one. Who would win in a Mortal Kombat? Betty White or Keith Richards?
So this is in the Shadow Realm, right?
Yeah, no.
Like,
Right.
like
It's the only place this could happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have, like, in terms of the scope, we're not just talking about their physical capabilities on Earth, but in the Shadow Realm.
Obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Shao
take into
Kahn's
account-
gonna kick both of their asses. I mean, like, if you played Mortal Kombat, he always does to you.
Yeah.
Not if you crouch and just kick at him,
Yeah.
you beat him.
And
In
I
Mortal
bet
Kombat
you Betty,
too.
Betty would have a really good...
Okay,
you
you know,
seen-
yeah, you know what?
I think she would get down.
She would have an
and
advantage
pop-
on that.
Yeah, she would, like, pop her hip out.
Have you seen Lake Placid? She's got legs.
She does.
I think Keith Richards would light a cigarette before he can actually confront Shao
He
Kahn.
would he's like sort of like drunken monkey style. He just falls.
He also quit smoking, so now he's got stamina.
Oh yeah. He's just gonna roll and just like and so
His 70-year-old lungs are going to be great
But-
on the battle.
He did heroin for 45 years.
Yeah.
He can't feel anything.
That's
He went through like several
That's
blood
true.
Betty White lives
transplants.
off of hot dogs and helping animals.
I just don't know. I
And
don't know
and
if
Golden
Keith
Girls
Richards
royalties.
would know if he won or not. I don't know when he would like the end would happen of the match.
Yeah, that's actually what
Say finish him.
that's what would happen. The show would start, or the fight would start, and then Betty White would be like, "Oh, he's already dead. Look at him." Yeah.
Well, it just
All right.
depends.
I can't do this anymore.
I don't even think he would know, like, he's in the shower room. He's like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
She could just like bring a lot of heroin. Just set a lot of heroin.
Side note.
Middle of the room.
I went
far away.
to Boeve, and you guys seen like at Boeve where they have like the mural of all the dead
Yeah.
artists. I think it was funny yesterday because I did pick out. I'm like dead. Okay, I see how they're doing. So homage to all the dead artists and whatnot. Keith Richards is up there. I'm like, wait.
Wait a minute.
I think these people are confused by this, but I could see how you'd think that. But
You know, I'm not surprised coming that from Dave. Dead. It's Keith Richards. Dead.
it is like a celebrity death match, though. That's how it'd go. It'd be a claymation. But I think in the end, Betty White probably would win.
Yeah, it's
because
I think it's just hands
she's
down.
focused, and her finishing move. I think that's what we need to decide here. What their finishing would be. Yeah. I bet Betty White gives nice warm hugs, and she would hold on to him and fill him with so much love, like the Care Bear stare.
I
And
think
then
He
his
would,
heart
yeah.
burst.
He would
his
explode.
chest.
I mean,
And just blood.
blood everywhere.
Yeah.
I think she grabs her phone and calls Bob Hope, and then Bob Hope talks Keith Richards to death.
That's true.
I died at 100.
So what's Keith's? What's Keith's final move?
Muddy Waters.
But what is that?
Like, it's just like he just brings in Muddy Waters, and like he just has a conversation with him, and Betty White gets bored to death by the conversation between those two.
For some reason, I have this image in my head of him throwing his own teeth at her.
That'd also be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think
Probably.
I feel like Keith Richards'
smokes
moveset
her
would actually be.
ex-husband's ashes.
That's what I was gonna say. He would destroy Betty
Father's
with his ashes
Yeah.
like a vase. Just breaks it over Betty's head.
smash.
Yeah.
Or
feel like Keith Richards' moveset would actually be heavily influenced by Muddy Waters, though.
I feel like Keith Richards would just give her a lethal overdose of heroin, but then he would take 3 times the amount and walk away from it.
But it sounds like we have a cyst involved. So is this more like Marvel vs. Capcom, less like Mortal Kombat? Is it like kind of like having like Muddy Waters?
You're onto something here. We are actually going into MVC territory. But like this should just be like, yeah, no. I still think Keith Richards' movesets for Mortal Kombat would be heavily ripped off from Muddy Waters. I think Betty. Me and Joe were having this discussion.
I'm in agreement with them.
Now, Joseph.
Oh, no!
Not in the face.
I feel like Betty White's fatality would either have to be like the extinguisher from her 95th birthday recently that she used to blow out her candles. Like she would just have to like just bash it over his head.
Oh shit, yeah, that's what it'd be. It'd be a birthday cake on fire for her next birthday. She just launch it at him, just roast him.
Cake. Like it would be like it would rain.
It's Betty White's birthday, and it just cake.
I think Betty White would win. I would present some evidence I found on the interwebs.
Oh.
I present Exhibit A.
There's a discussion about this.
She has her own Mortal Kombat meme in which you can clearly see she has already eliminated some pretty, powerful celebrities with great longevity.
She took out Stan Lee this recent round.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that was that hard.
Stan
Pretty
Lee?
people. They were drinking up his blood.
Who was drinking up his blood?
Who's drinking his blood?
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
You don't remember hearing about how his security team was taking his blood and then selling comics that were signed with his blood.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
fucking metal.
What the fuck?
Do you not remember the last like 2 years?
This up?
This happened.
I would
Do you
be
not
easily
remember
like
the
going.
last like legal battle that's been going around the
I don't
custody
follow
of him?
that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, no, it's been
Follow one, by the way?
insane.
Yeah,
He pretty much for the last 2 years of his life was held in captivity by his security team, and they were just forcing money out of him and then pocketing most of it. His manager was taking complete advantage of him because he just went in a downward spiral after his wife died.
God.
Yeah, sad times. But he's dead now, so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
That just makes it more depressing.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's
He's
good.
dead now. It's
He
all
had
right.
a good ending.
He found a way to move through it.
Yeah.
He died.
I like. So we're all in agreement, though, that Betty White would definitely kill Keith Richards.
Hands down.
I think she has the resolve.
We got you, Betty.
Again, like Keith Richards would be completely oblivious of what's going on before he can have a chance to like throw a move at her.
I think he would be more. He'd just be tough to kill. He's already proven.
Well, I mean,
He's tough to kill,
it would take a long ass time for Betty White to like kill him. But he
like
still would be
high
completely
HP,
oblivious.
But Betty White would have like a lot more mana or a lot more like turbo.
There's
What game are we? We're Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
I do like how we're talking about Betty White and all these old people stuff, and I just keep eyeballing that Werther's candy over there.
dude.
I'm not going to eat it on camera.
Give me some of that. Give me some of that.
Werther's is the greatest.
Yeah.
Do you want like Kershey Kishes?
No.
No.
Kershey Kishes.
Dum
Like an
Dums?
off-brand.
Ooh, we'll do a Dum Dum. What do you got? Fruity Dum Dum?
I got the mystery Dum Dum. I got the cherry Dum Dum.
Cherry Dum Dum. Let's
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
But it's settled.
Okay.
It is settled.
It is settled. Betty White would win.
I got an oatmeal cream pie. I'm all right.
Razzers.
Howdy.
Yeah.
This one's cotton candy, actually. I like it.
Oh, nice.
Next question.
Are we going to the next questions?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Zach's turn.
What? Should we do?
Yeah, just bring it back.
Bring it back. Okay.
Bring it back,
Take it
y'all.
back now, y'all. What happened
Do
this
one
time?
more. I got one more.
God.
All right.
I have a potluck to get to. Yeah. Anyway.
What kind of potluck goes on at 9 p.m.?
Oh,
The
see.
best kind.
Yeah. We're building giant puppets, and it's gonna be red. Just you wait.
Wait and see.
You'll all see.
What is one romantic comedy that doesn't make you want to die?
It doesn't make you want to die.
Oh.
Most of them, I enjoy them.
See, we're going into this, yeah.
I'll talk about.
Like,
We're going to it.
sorry, like, I enjoy romantic comedies. Like they have a special place in my
Sleepless in Seattle. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I like
Pretty
that.
Woman.
Pretty Woman. I like it. I like it.
I mean, I would take Sleepless in Seattle before.
Sheepless in
Sheepless.
Seattle. It's a
Oh, that's
romantic.
a movie.
It's a romantic comedy about shepherds.
I have like 3 or 4, and 3 of them involve Michael Cera. Scott Pilgrim, would that count? Ish.
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll allow it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely romantic.
I still
comedy.
think Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist is cheesy,
Yeah.
but I still like it.
Yeah.
Juno is great.
Juno.
I was going to ask if
500
like
Days
Juno
of
would be
Summer.
in
Yeah,
consideration.
500 Days of Summer was my other one.
When my wife was pregnant, she went as Juno for Halloween.
Would Pretty in Pink be considered a rom-com?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I would say Pretty in Pink.
Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy.
Okay, yeah, no, that's the best one. That's the best one.
God.
In my opinion, I love Kevin Smith as director. Like
Yeah.
that is like just a phenomenal. I love that movie. Though.
Toby Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Toby Maguire.
Just a
Wait, I was like,
general or
no, just him.
Tom Cruise.
Just him.
Cider House Rules.
Tom Cruise
Tobey
stars in
Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
Cider House Rules.
All right, here we're gonna get deep on this one though.
Yeah.
Serendipity and P.S. I Love You. Those are ones like sit down anytime. I don't care if I'm by myself and be like,
I will say,
I'm gonna have myself a cry.
John Cusack has a lot of great romantic comedy, High Fidelity. Oh,
I did gush a little bit at P.S. I Love You.
Yeah, P.S. I Love You's great.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
you know what else I love is oatmeal cream pie.
Look at Zach trying to get all these nice sponsorships going. Sangria. Oatmeal cream pie.
That better great. It's a me, Mario.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna get
Luigi.
one more Nintendo impression.
shit.
We're gonna get sued.
Lee Burns, Princess Bride. I didn't even think of that one, but yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah, Princess
I
Bride.
like Princess Bride.
I'd say that one.
I don't like his other comment. I googled Betty White nudes.
Oh man.
That's a poor life choice.
I think,
Get it together, Lee Burns.
Yeah, that's
no offense, Lee, but you're a little behind the curve. I mean, who hasn't Googled Betty White
right.
nude?
Right.
I think what else there would be.
Next one.
Next one.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah.
I like how none of us debated about how nobody's like, well, there isn't really a rom-com that doesn't make me want to
We
kill
started
myself.
talking like a knitting circle. And
Oh,
I was like,
ladies,
rom-coms.
let me tell you about this one. Oh, P.S. I Love You. That Irish accent.
We're like middle-aged mothers at a church.
Oh, I'm getting nervous again.
Hecklers. How do you handle them, and when is enough enough?
When they start getting mean.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to talk about it. I mean, I don't really have much of a story other than like I'll just pretty much just like be. I just pretty much rip off Bob Dylan at the Newport Folk Festival. Just, I don't believe you. You're a liar.
I take a note from when Will Ferrell did stand up on Conan. Basically, he heckled himself. He's sitting in the audience, goes, "You're an ass." And he goes, "Think this is funny? Do you think this is easy? Do you want to come down here? Yeah, I'd love to come down there and kick your tight little ass." And he's wearing, like, the heckler's got a mustache and a Michael Jackson jacket on. He keeps stroking his mustache. "Why don't you come down here with your Michael Jackson jacket and come try and defend yourself?" And then, "Yeah, I'll come down there." And he comes down, it's just this little person that just, like, beats him. It's great.
So when is enough enough? Have you ever had anybody that was enough?
I haven't. It's one of those things that I tend to just try to ignore the heckler.
Yeah.
If it's just them kind of drunkenly spewing shit out, I just kind of let it go and just move on, and then I'll make a comment like, "Oh, they're just having a little too much juice" or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like I haven't really had
kind of do like a verbal judo with them, use their momentum just to make them fall over themselves.
Yeah,
Sure.
I haven't really had a hostile heckler. Like Skylar's had one before, where Boeve was doing open mics a couple years ago. At like 1 a.m. we showed up, and some guy that was playing pool in the back just kept telling Skylar how much he sucked and told him to get the fuck off the stage and all this stuff. And then Skylar goes, "I just like to point out that this guy has been offering people really expensive weed in the building. So if you want really expensive weed, hit up this guy." And like,
Nice.
That's a good way to handle a heckler. Is just like get them arrested.
I thought it was interesting for the Run the Light show how uncomfortable that made a lot of those comics. They were like, and you could tell it was coming, and that gave them nervous boners. Like, no, they're like,
Pants cam.
man,
for
it
the
was crazy.
uninitiated, Run the Light is a themed show that we do where after about 4 minutes of a comic being on stage, the red light comes up and anyone in the audience is free to heckle. And when we did it at Snow Jam, no one wanted to heckle at all.
Well, that's because I said that we're all too nice in Midwest, except for that one drunk dude would just be like, boners.
Oh yeah,
Or
and
just,
then
yeah,
if
he-
he said anything, he'd go like a little too far.
Yeah, he'd just keep
like,
going.
to the point where it wasn't funny. It was just like him making attempted jokes at like domestic violence and stuff like that. I'm just
or like how much drugs he does.
yeah.
Yeah, that was like really, really awkward.
Yeah.
But God, what the hell's that guy's name from Michigan? I forget his name. The sucking
Stu?
guy. Yeah, Stu.
Stu, yeah.
Stu was great.
Stu Whitney?
But
No.
I listened to his podcast recapping his maddening trip home and all that stuff and everything he talked about. But he talked about the Run the Light, and he goes, it was just difficult because you weren't really sure, and he's like, it was just on the back of your mind the whole time. You just went up there with the nervousness of it, but. I don't know. It was interesting to see how people would handle it. And
Funny is more people heckled Stu because he was the tall white guy.
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
a lot of racially
Yeah.
diverse
Yeah.
comedians during that show.
that came in.
And no one said anything during their sets. And then Stu's the white guy from Michigan. So, oh yeah, let's all heckle the shit
the chick
out of
from
him,
Brooklyn,
like-
I forget her name. The black
Stephanie.
chick. Yeah, Steph. Yeah, Steph. Oh, yeah. She was sitting there like. I told her because the whole time I saw her a bunch of lipstick and shit on her teeth, and I told her, I'm like, hey. I kind of did the slow burn on you for the heckle because I was talking to her afterwards. She's like, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, I saw you had lipstick on your tooth the whole time, and I was going to say something, but then I didn't because I didn't want to embarrass you up there. And she goes, I know, I was telling people that had lipstick all over my teeth and nobody said a damn word. And I'm like, yeah, but that was my slow burn way of heckling you because you got to walk around and talk to all those people with a shitload of lipstick on you. And then, like, the next night when we're out, I'm, like, walking around, like, excuse me, ma'am. And she's like, yes. I'm like, and she's like, oh, thank you. And then she goes, oh, smack me in the chest afterwards.
Steph also has a fro, and I before they cut off right when I was about to say my heckle, I said, you have the second best fro in the room.
Man, Willie Mack's got a Willie Mack's got a hell of a fro on him too.
He hit his like.
Yeah,
when
he hit his. Yeah, he wore a stocking hat, which it was cold as shit. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stocking hats.
yeah, you don't have a fro.
I mean, I'm bald.
Yeah. But you,
Hey guys, Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins here to announce the
Internet's busiest music grunge.
music grunge. Right on. Next
one?
question?
Yeah.
I got Boogie.
All right. Should we do Jordan's shameless plug before you?
Yeah, go for it.
Come out after you listen to this to a potluck.
We'll make puppets.
Make puppets at Club David. If you want to come out, there's puppets and chili.
Can I make the Crank Yankers puppets?
Red Hot
Yeah, if
Chili.
you want to, yeah.
Red Hot Chili Puppets.
Ooh. Yeah.
You better get there before he does.
Shit.
Episode title found.
Red Hot Chili Puppets.
Like, Flea is just like
Playing with a puppet.
with just a sock.
John Frusciante looks methed out as usual.
Well, Jordan, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you for
it.
having me. I'll see you guys later.
I'll catch you around, Jordan.
Deffenbaugh. All right.
Well, on that note, we'll make some more room here in this couch.
Show me on the puppet word.
Alrighty, let's show me on the puppet where the funk touched you.
You guys ever see that Scrubs episode where they had the puppet and they had
Oh
the
yeah,
X-ray?
I love that one.
And he had the hand up inside and was like, well, here's your problem. And he
This
goes,
is what
this explains so much.
Alrighty, this next one's called Price Decline You Save. You want to go with it?
Pass.
Yeah. What?
Okay, how do you keep ideas flowing when you have some form of writer's block?
I'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Sure.
I go with like first thought, best thought. Just go with it. Like even if you think the idea is crap, just write it down. Especially with comedy, it's just like if there's an idea I think is ridiculous, I've found a way to make it work on stage most of the time. Like even if like I used to doubt myself way more than I do now. Like if I write something stupid down, like that's just my sense of humor on stage. It just works for me. Like I find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
So if anything's stupid, I just write it down. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'll be fine. I'll make that. Like last week, I did like 2 really stupid one-liners. One of them was like, I haven't gotten my mail lately. It's not that it hasn't been delivered. I just don't feel like getting up. And
That's a good one.
it's stupid. And then one of them was about LaCroix. I said, I've been learning some French lately.
Jesus.
Bonjour is hello. Au revoir is goodbye. And LaCroix is the fucking worst. And just stupid
You're right,
jokes.
though. You're not
Like,
wrong.
yeah.
Fail on that.
Fail.
I love LaCroix. I hate to be the contrarian of the episode, but I love fucking LaCroix. It's so good. I can't
Yeah.
let you defile LaCroix in this man's house.
Man,
But with that, like, I don't think I've ever really struggled with writer's block for an extended period of time because my writing process has always been like always generating something. So if I'm not generating a new idea, I'm trying to like organize old ideas. So I'm like moving something from a notebook onto a text document and figuring out whether or not, if it's poetry or a song or a book idea or something like that. But like, always thinking like no idea is solidified and finished until it's released to someone. So that kind of keeps me feeling free, everything's always refreshing. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much roughly the same of like what Joey has. That's what's going on for me. It's just there was like this like children's author like or like young adults author that went to like that did a show or like a Q&A thing of some sort at my high school. And like he actually had this question like brought up to him. Do you remember Neil Schusterman?
yeah, I was
like,
just thinking about that.
Like somebody like mentioned writer's block to him, and like it was actually. I mean, I never liked his books, but I mean, like there was something like that really like stuck with me about like the whole thing. Is just like I don't believe in writer's block. That's pretty much what he said, and that's pretty much how I kind of like took that whole philosophy and like just kind of implemented it with my art, and again like the same thing with like what Joey goes on. It's just like I want to like keep just like making something or like reorganize like ideas and stuff. I mean, I don't feel like there's never going to be like a dry moment. I mean, I guess I'm not a comedian, so I can't really say like what the writing process is for that. But
You just look for dick and fart jokes all day.
Yeah. The only time I say no to an idea is if I feel like it doesn't sound like my voice on stage. And that's if it's like a really dark joke that I came up with, or someone's like, "Oh, you should do that on stage," and it's something like I don't think I could pull that off live.
Oh, that's what the great thing about art is, though. I mean, it's like you got your own voice that you want to like just project out to people, and I mean, this is a great admiration of like what you do, and yeah, like good fucking on you.
The great thing on that though is the fun thing about comedy is like you can take those jokes where you think that this is nothing that I would ever say, and then like try and build like a
Premise
character
around it,
around that, and like I love Andy Kaufman's perspective on comedy, like that.
Can we please stop the tape?
Yeah. I never view a bit as done, even if I used it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could be doing it at a showcase or like a fully presented joke, and then all of a sudden, like backstage, comic goes, "Oh, you should do this," and I'll try it. And then if that gets a bigger laugh, then like shit, that's it's finished for now. Like that's how I say it.
That was funny because you know how the Stefan sketch from SNL went about, right? Like John Don Mulaney would act like, or however you say his name, it was like
John Mulaney,
like John Mulaney. It was just like he would always like change the script like the very last minute before they would go live.
Yeah.
And then he would always like walk up to Bill Hader and like say like some like the most absurd shit ever. He's like, "Okay, now Bill, remember, you gotta say DJ Baby Bok Choy." Oh yeah. And then he would just.
Or when John Mulaney played Shy, Stefan's lawyer, he whispers into, or he wanted to talk about high-waisted midgets, but he like wanted to say little people instead. And so he goes, "It's Shy, can I say?" And he whispers into nothing, like just goes, "Yes." And then John Mulaney goes, "My girlfriend works at Yoshinoya Beef Bowl." Whispers, like you can't quite hear it, but then like Bill Hader talked about that in the Seth Meyers interview. And then he goes, "Yeah, well, John whispered in my ear, my girlfriend works at Yoshinoya Beef Bowl." And he goes, and then like walks like, lying.
But that's what's like the best thing about creating something or like doing like performance in general. It's just like those like last minute kind of stuff. Like you don't even expect it yourself, and of course the audience doesn't even expect a damn thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's kind of what like is like enjoyable is. Well, I mean, to some extent, anyways, it's just like you kind of get like a one-on-one with each other.
Yeah.
More like than what any script can give you in some sort of sense.
Right.
I'm pretty new to the scene and trying to figure out how to write that stuff, and figuring out the voice is probably one of the big ones. But I'm like, my approach to it is like I've always been writing, always been coming up with ideas or different things and bullet points. Like one night we had people over and my wife discovered my bullet point list of things I had in my phone, and she's like, "What in the hell is this?" And she's just reading like random ideas I had out loud, and everybody's just laughing. I'm like, "Okay, that one works." And she thought she was embarrassing me, but when she'd say the bullet point and people would start laughing, I'm like, "Ah, that one. I keep going." Like, "No, I'm not mad. Just keep going." Like, "Okay, nobody laughed at that one. Keep going." So, but I'm just always looking for different ideas, and like Zach said, there might be something, and I have some ideas I know that are going to work. It's just if they're super tough and you got to read out the crowd and figure it out, and it's not quite your voice. So if it's a super dark joke, write it down. You just got to figure out a way to approach it differently and look at it from a different angle. And that's probably one of my favorite things like about stand-up is just going out there, reading out the crowd, and just trying to deliver something differently. And that's where I'm struggling right now, because like I've only been at it for like a month and a half now, but I think every single time I need to have a brand new joke. Every single time, everything I go up there, something completely new, even though it's been 6 weeks and multiple sets or whatever. So now I'm like trying to figure out a structure how to redo that stuff and just see what I have. Like I said, I'm getting comfortable on stage now and figuring out the crowd and working it, and some stuff I know that probably wouldn't work so hot like worked the other day because that's Preston just freaking shot from the hip and went crazy and said a whole bunch of horrible, hilarious things. So I was like, well, Preston just went up there and just started swinging for the fences, so I'm going to end on this joke that I didn't think I could ever use, and I just did this horrible Harry Potter joke.
Right.
But people were groaned as I expected them to, but they were set up for it, and then like I just felt the crowd out, and then it was just all in fun and games. But
yeah.
I kind of I was talking to Parker about this, Parker Monson, last couple days ago, about how I view stand-up sets more as theatrical performances than I actually do stand-up sets. Because a lot of comics just go up and talk about their jokes and whatever, but I kind of view it as how can I get the crowd interested in a way that's different instead of just, hey, here's a joke, here's politics, 5 minutes, done.
Be like the guy from the open mic in Tenacious D's Pick a Destiny. So, and that's my life!
Yeah. Yeah, like this next bit I have been working on is where I was at Planet Fitness last week and they were playing Rock and Roll Night by Kiss. And I feel like that song never fucking ends, at least the chorus never ends.
Holy shit, that song is overrated.
And I edited
overrated songs.
I have audio editor system thing on my computer, and I basically looped that chorus for 2 minutes straight.
Oh my god.
And then I cut to the verse, you show us everything, and I cut back to, I wanna rock it, just loop it over and over again. So basically, that I'm gonna play that audio, and then we're at, be at the gym, getting ready for stuff, and it's like, is this over? This isn't over yet. I just came up with that bit. I'm I like to do theatrical, just reactionary pieces like that. Just kind of like Andy Kaufman with Mighty Mouse, that kind of thing.
Still my favorite thing that you pulled out the other day at Wood Grain.
The Hy-Vee.
Yeah, the Hy-Vee, when you pulled out that old bit. God, that was funny.
I had The Middle by Jimmy Eat World playing in every couple, the most important part of the song. I go, Hy-Vee shoppers shopping by, yeah. Hey, to write yourself, Hy-Vee shoppers. I just kept,
And he would react to it and be like, ah! And then,
thanks, Hy-Vee shoppers.
That's what I literally did.
Yeah. The notes that were in there and stuff, though, God, they were funny. Yeah, that was so funny.
Just take some Hy-Vee shoppers.
just take some Hy-Vee shoppers.
And then the last one, I think I did, hey, to race, and I cut off. We know you want to hear the rest of The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, but screw you, here's some more offers on our growlers. So I like doing that bit. That was fun. I just do a lot of...
I know you want to hear the end of Jimmy Eat World, but here's a song by the Growlers.
Yeah. I love doing theatrical pieces, a lot more stuff like that instead of just strictly joke.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's... I like to... And that's where I'm starting to figure out my stuff a little bit. I like to pull people in and take them on a ride and go back and forth. And it's so hard not to try to emulate your favorite comedians. Or just... Right. I think it's easy to get caught in the trap, too, of, looking at everybody that's been doing it for a long time.
Right.
So, you look at yourself, Holtzy, all those guys, and it's so hard not to be okay, this is their brand of comedy, this is what's been working here, it's what everybody's used to, so to put yourself out there and try something different, to make your own, and try not to make when you're trying to make your peers laugh, that's tough.
There's a lot of things that I kind of realize I can't take from other comics as far as influence, Holtz always yells at the beginning of getting the crowd warmed up like that.
Yep.
I've been doing a lot of running around the audience, just yelling,
just going bananas.
How are you? Seriously, how are you? This whole just
sounds like a very Chris Farley kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. I take a lot of influence from that kind of thing, and then
dude, I love that kind of. I love that kind of abrasive stuff. There, it's just
I see, and that's what people don't know who the hell I am, so I go up there and I'm just kind of doing whatever. But that one day, I don't remember if you were there or not, but I just went up there and started doing some sign language and standing in front of the microphone. And people are like...
I must have been gone for that one.
Yeah, because I just went up there and just did just a little bit of sign language really fast and just sat there and smiled at them. And I'm like, how fucked up would it be if I just sat up here and signed for the entire 5 minutes?
That would have been the greatest thing. That would have been so good.
Dude, I would have paid $50 for that.
No, you should for 4 minutes do sign language and then end it with, then I said rectum, damn near killed him.
Oh man. I want to see that live now. There's been...
So I'm just trying to think of different ways to break the ice or do different things and just have some fun with it. But like I said, it's I don't know. My writer's block is just doubting everything that I have and trying to figure out how to do it. But I'm starting to get in the groove now and starting to not beat myself up. And I watch other people just do it, and then they have jokes that work and they have jokes that don't work. And it's you know what, fuck it, they're trying it and whatever. And you just try to work it around, and that's part of the fun of it. You're not gonna. And I used to work out with a lot of the mixed martial artists here in town for many, many years, and a lot of them, they always said the same thing. They went out there disappointed in performance. Why are you disappointed? You think you're gonna knock out every person or submit them with the first punch or first submission? Yep. Well, no. Well, I guess that's you're not gonna do that with yourself. You just got to keep going, working your craft. You're not gonna. Not everything is gonna be that haymaker. Sometimes you're gonna get lucky and land that sucker, but be fun. Uh-oh.
They're here.
Dude, your mom is pissed at me. Jesus joke earlier.
Hi, Mom.
I'm sorry. It was just a joke.
I mean...
It's a new one.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I threw it off.
Check on your timing machine?
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I mean, anyways, where I was going to go with this is just that's kind of what I like about performance. It's just like you kind of like get more like with like more of the interaction with the crowd. That's kind of like the thing that I've lived for, and you've seen me plenty of times. Oh, like most of you have seen me like plenty of times at that, like doing shows and stuff. Like I get in my underwear and crowd surf. So toilet paper and everybody. I'm a pretty wacky fellow.
There's another one?
But
What's going on?
Oh, I didn't. You changed camera views. I didn't know there's another one.
Yep.
Oh.
Blown me away.
But.
This is a great audio experience, by the way, when I do jokes with this. So yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then just touch me.
Satisfaction.
But where I was gonna go with is just like I really want to, like, if anything, if I want to see from like local talent here from any kind, it's just like I want more interaction with the audience, because I mean, and I love everybody that goes up and like projects their own voice up there passionately too. But I mean, it's just like I also just kind of see the same thing just kind of go repeatedly over and over again, where it's just like there'll be just like a band that just kind of just plays their songs for like 30 minutes and just goes off.
Well, it's like what we talked about with stage banter earlier, where it just kind of seems cut and paste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With some people in it.
Well, I think that becomes interrupting. That becomes like the difference in showmanship versus just going out there and going through the motions and be like, I'm going to do this and just, here's my thing, I'm going to get up and get out. But you need the confidence, and it is a relationship. It's a give-take relationship between you and the audience. And I hate hearing, and like I said, I don't have much of an opinion because I am so new at this, but I have the mentality of, I don't want to hear that the crowd is bad. How's the crowd? It is your job to go up there and entertain these people and give them a shot. Even like how to do it. And like one of my favorite concerts I ever went to is with Sims from Doomtree. I went to the Icon, and Sims was up there, and like those guys play for tens of thousands of people and like sell at the Palace Theater and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
These guys go to the Icon, and there's like 100 or 50 people there, and Sims is there, and he's like, all right, he didn't make a big deal out of it. He's just like, I don't care how many people are here. I'm going to play the same show for you guys I do for anybody else, and we're going to pretend like this is my mom's basement. We're going to party down and make sure we have this shit cleaned up by the morning. And then he did. He delivered like such a fun show, and I'm like, I am going to do that for every single person I can. I don't care if I'm fortunate enough to ever get paid $5 to do a show, I'll be excited, you know? And that's what I want to be able to do, is give those people that experience. And that's where I changed my mindset. I ate dick that one night, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to deliver hard and just have fun. I went to Full Circle, had a great set.
Oh, Full Circle's a great
place. Yeah, that place is super fun. And then, you know, we went to
shout out to Sean and yeah.
Yeah, that place is super fun. I love the atmosphere there. And
good guys.
Yeah, we need to have more stuff like that. I appreciate all the venues in town, but that's where I hope, like, yeah, they're opening up the doors for that, try to bring in the business, and then giving us a platform to be able to do those things. So, yeah, we go to Wood Grain. I like Wood Grain because it's downtown, it's fun, it's a different atmosphere. It is brighter, so it's a little bit tougher to work the crowd. It's a little bit tougher to get them into it. And the first time I went down there, I shit my pants, but it was super fun to be able to go up there and be like, you know what, I'm just going to have fun and go with it and just get people into it and start engaging and like take it from, start making eye contact, get intimate with them, looking back and forth. So if you're able to do that and get them into it, people are going to back you up and they're going to support you and help them win a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a lot of like things that people tend to forget too when like they go and perform. It's just like you agreed to be an entertainer.
Yeah, it's a contract.
Yeah, and like there, I'm kind of like, it kind of dawns on me every now and then. Like, for like being a part of the music scene, there'll be times where like you can tell the difference between somebody who is a musician and somebody who is an entertainer.
Yeah. And you're selling yourself short if you think you're just a musician or just a writer or just a filmmaker or just a comedian.
Yeah.
At the end, you're an artist.
Yeah.
Like you're
and like art is like, art intertwines with like literally everything within itself.
Yeah. And you have to be able to create, sell, and promote and distribute your art in today's climate. And it's really important I think the biggest skill for any artist is being able to understand your audience.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, sure.
It's psychology for sure. You guys got to feel it out, and if you don't have that, that's really, really tough. And some people are just there to feel your vibes. I mean, some can just go out there, and you might have the most introverted person on the planet up there, and people just feel them out. They're like, damn, and really appreciate it, and you know what you're getting out of the experience. But takes a long time to get there, I think, for those people to like appreciate that and to get where you're at. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I don't know. I like it though. It's fun. I like being uncomfortable. I like to use the analogy of, don't be so stiff and rigid with your act or your
doing it wrong if
art.
you're comfortable.
Don't be so stiff and rigid and be like, this is the way I did it, and don't script it, because people like authenticity. They want to hear it. They want to know that they are getting a little bit more special experience, like we talked about the cookie cutter arena shows where they're like, Sioux Falls, and then everybody's and they're like, insult this, So instead, they want to feel it go off the rails a little bit, or have it a little bit sideways, or you're able to like pick it up and like, okay, these people aren't really feeling it, so let's get them involved. Let's get somebody and just like not do full on crowd work, but like the best person and best experience I can say, like somebody had displayed that was Bill Burr in Philadelphia. If you haven't seen it, it's Bill Burr before he got super rich and big. People were booing every major comic off stage. It was terrible. It was outdoor. People were drinking all day, and they were heckling and booing and being Philadelphians and just being terrible. Nah, I'm joking. You guys throw snowballs.
It's pretty much a great thing to sum up Philadelphia with.
They're being pretty Philadelphia, if you know what I mean. But they were just being ruthless to everybody. So Bill Burr went out there and he's pissed. He's like, this is stupid. He's like, he went up there and he had like 10 or 15 minutes. And he goes out there and just starts destroying the people of Philadelphia. And they're all out there booing. And he's like, I don't get it. Your biggest idol isn't even a real person. He's talking about Rocky and like just ripping into everybody. But it's 10 minutes straight. And he goes, 7 minutes. I'm doing every last bit of this.
I've heard
and then
stories about this.
Oh my God, it is legendary because all of a sudden he goes from everybody just being volatile and screaming and angry and booing and trying to get it to all of a sudden you hear the crowd just start to shift and being like, and cheering him on. And he's like, yeah, it was incredible because he just turned the crowd. I mean, they were booing like legendary people off the stage, and he went out there. He's like, all right, fuck you guys. And like he just gave them, he's like, they're unhappy, I'm gonna give them an unhappy experience, and they're like, all right, I'm feeling this, and then I mean that's what I mean. How's the crowd? That's the most worst crowd you could ever hope for, you know.
Yeah. Doing improv also has helped me adjust to every crowd and see how things are.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I would love improv. Like watching you guys do your thing that one day, I was like, oh, let them go.
It's taught me to just kind of roll with the punches a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like last night I showed up to Steel Lucky Fest expecting just to do my stand-up set and that's it. And then David Naylor goes, hey, do you want to host the whole thing? Introduce all the acts and everything. And
had some fun. Yeah, why not? It's more time.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really tell jokes. I just kept going like, who else is on a lot of Red Bull? This guy. Next act. And then,
that's what you got to get through, though.
Yeah. So, just doing that kind of thing, I'm like, all right, I'm hosting. All right, that's cool.
Dang.
I just ask every act before, like, what do you want for an intro? Musicians usually are pretty chill. It's like, just say my name, I don't care. Yeah. Comics more like, it's all about credits. Like, okay, what have I been in? What have I done? Like,
yeah, like me. Hi, my name's Cole Boeve. Who? That's
you may have seen this next comic.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's improv is a skill I've used a lot since I've started doing it for a while.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you guys are a bunch of ninjas up there. It's fun.
It's fun seeing you guys go up there and doing stand-up. I'll give it that.
It's fun. And you always do that punk rock and roll like throwing TP in the audience kind of thing, which is always cool.
Just going bananas. Yeah.
Well, that's also like another thing I was gonna like mention about that too. Is like I was like a drama club kid in high school, and like a lot of the elements of like entertaining like audiences for like high school plays and stuff kind of implemented with like that whole like my whole like punk rock influence with like, and I also like admire the shenanigans Iggy Pop would always do, and so I always kind of like do like the whole like how can I be my own and like get into everybody's face at the same time with the whole thing?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I became known for around the town.
Yeah.
Which I'm really happy for. I can't.
Right.
I don't want to ask for any other way.
Yeah. Certain crowds, it's like I'm like, how are we doing tonight? And they're just like,
Meh.
We're here.
Hey.
That's why I've kind of learned, like, as I go up on stage now, and unless I'm hosting, I don't say, how we doing tonight?
Yeah.
I just start doing weird shit.
And also, yeah, you.
Cleveland!
Yeah, exactly.
Cleveland rocks.
Springfield!
How we doing tonight, Chinatown?
Springfield. Woo, Springfield!
Yeah. Like one of the Boston comedians, Alan Richardson, he had this great thing where he just, like, the stand-up showcase goes, fellas, where are my fellas at? Fellas.
Oh God, I remember.
At?
Yeah,
Fellas. And you guys sit down while you pee because it hurts to stand up. ladies, where are my ladies at? This one is just for the fellas, where are my fellas at? Like,
That guy is fucking genius. He's really, really good.
About it because like there's so many comedians that are just like plain misogynistic about it. It's like, fellas, be honest, should women shit?
yeah.
Real fella moment right now.
Right.
Oh man, I just did a joke about that last week about not quite like that, but like about using the toilet standing up or sitting down. I like when you had to take off real quick, which I was like,
yeah.
I came over for this thing and you left, but like it was a good set and it went fine, and like I just derailed myself because I just totally had to feel off the crowd, but like I went on this whole spiel and it was gonna like bring it back around, which I'll use it again and talk about it. Yeah. But like I had this whole part I wanted to mix into it, but it got sidetracked so quickly. And
Luke Johnson does have a joke. He goes, I know people that pee sitting down. I know people that poop standing up. I don't allow them in my home. I love that joke he does. It's so like
he's gonna make such a great angry old man comedian.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. Like when he's gonna be like, what is it, Wallace and Waldorf from
Statler and Waldorf.
From the Muppets. Yeah, I'll be up there and just like talking shit the whole time. Look at this fucking guy.
Sitting on a stool the whole time. Hemorrhoid donut on the stool. Like,
got the hemorrhoids again.
Oh, this heights. He has like an accent. Yeah. Oh, this heights. Simple green though.
Next question.
Should we go one more and then shameless plugs?
All right. One more shameless plugs.
Yeah.
You went on for a good 20 minutes on that guy.
Yeah. That's a good question.
That was good.
When you act on stage, how do you channel your energy and what fuels you? We kind of talked about
that. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we kind of covered a lot of questions in that last one.
Yeah.
I get rambly. I'm sure my wife was just texting me.
What influenced you about performing?
What influenced you about influencing you about performing? First movie you saw in the theater?
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
I can't remember.
I can't remember, yeah.
Failure.
Shrek 2.
Well, Joey clearly remembers.
Are you fucking kidding me? How old are you? Jesus.
20.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You know what my earliest memory, though?
Don't tell me.
Memory is?
What's that?
It's Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings. My uncle used to...
I guess.
Yeah, I guess we're talking about it,
Yeah.
That's what I roll.
I think I remember I went to go see Pocahontas in '95.
Oh, yeah.
And I freaked out and we left. So technically the first film I saw in full was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, we're talking about your roots of like portions of Zach's life.
Yeah.
Zach used to have long, beautiful Fabio type hair until he saw Pocahontas in the theaters as a kid.
That was too much.
And now,
The hair just still stands up to this day.
Second film I saw in the theater was Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
for real?
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Trying to think. Mine, this will age me. Mine was one of the early Ernest movies.
Oh, I love
Really?
Ernest so much.
Ernest Goes to Jail?
I can't remember if it was
Ernest
Ernest.
Goes to
Ernest goes to jail for tax fraud.
I think it was. Yeah, it was either
Scared Stupid?
Ernest Scared Stupid or Ernest Camp. That was one of them.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
And then my dad took me to
That's a movie.
Ace Ventura, and I remember how I looked at Ace Ventura as a young child and thought, "Oh my God, I just found my holy grail."
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm walking out of there talking my ass. I'm about to be 36, and I still talk my ass. My kids, I call it Bob, so I still do it to this day. But freaking that, and yeah, those are probably two of the first ones I saw in the theater, really. But yeah, my son likes to give me some tips. He's like, "Dad, he's 6. How'd your set go tonight?" And I'm like, "Pretty good. Did you do Bob?" And I'm like, he's like, and I'm like, "No." And he's like, "It'd be good." And my 9-year-old's like, "No, Dad, you cannot do the Bob joke. That is so inappropriate and so stupid." And I'm like, "Well, why not?" And then Liam's like, "Well, I think it's fine. We're sitting there at the counter eating together." And he like stands up and he goes, "Well, he could be like," he'd be like, "Hello, my name's Bob. How are you guys tonight?" And I mean, this is my 6-year-old, and I'm like, "Fuck, this kid's gonna make it."
This kid's gonna make it. I love that's like your first thought too.
Yeah.
Because he is gonna make it.
Oh yeah, he will. He's like me. He'll sell it even if he gets in trouble. He'll like take a scolding, but then somebody's chuckling in the corner and be like, "Ha, worth it." Yeah.
I mean, if he's not Logan Paul, I mean, he's off to a great path already.
Oh God.
What was the first R-rated film you guys saw in the theater?
That is a good question.
The first one I saw, I figured it out. That I actually remember is the very first Don Bluth produced Land Before Time.
Oh.
In the theater.
Oh.
Rated R.
This would have been 1988, according to this thing. Holy fuck.
That would have been one of my first ones.
Dinosaur sex.
It was dinosaur death. It was like the mom died like right off the bat, and you were like bawling your fucking eyes out.
Yeah, dude, that was rough.
Dude, I remember watching that on Cartoon Network. Actually, I was like 3 years old, and that was like my first real life lesson about death. It was just like a mommy dinosaur dying.
That was the great thing about Don Bluth was he made these animated movies, but he had like no. It was like they're for kids. Wink, wink, nod, nod, and then they were like not at all.
Don Bluth is genius about that. I mean, that's what I love about him.
Like All Dogs Go to Heaven has like human trafficking and gambling and like all sorts of like hell visions and like fucking.
That movie's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
that's.
No, again, he just pulls no punches about making a freaking kids movie.
Yeah.
What was the first R-rated film you guys saw in the theater?
Don Bluth, Land Before Time.
Predators. We had to go to 3 different movie theaters.
Really?
Yeah. My uncles tried taking me to see Predators, the Robert Rodriguez one, and 2 theaters wouldn't let them bring me into it.
Wow.
So we had to go to another one.
Wow.
Yeah, but it ended up not being worth the hour and a half of driving around St. Louis, Missouri trying to find another movie theater.
Mine was Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
I'm so sorry.
That went to theaters?
You know, I mean, I've told so many stories about like the first film I've walked out on, but like I think the first film I've walked out on actually, like I remember right now, was that was an R-rated film, was Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star.
Nick Swartzen?
That Nick Swartzen movie. It was like the first 5 minutes is like, I can't do this. So I just walked out.
Speaking of putting too much energy in, my first one that I think I saw was the Blair Witch Project. But all my friends were quite a bit older than me. Like, you know, they were all old enough to go, but we were trying to make me look older because I was like 16, 15, and we're trying to get into the West Mall theaters. So I went there and.
What are you, chicken? Buck, buck, buck.
Yeah, no shit.
Wearing a gray wig.
Oh no. They bleached my hair and just did all sorts of ridiculous bullshit and did these things, and it was like they were just trying to fuck with me as much as possible. And they put the little black X on my hand just because that's what they did the ID. And I remember the guy looking at me I could tell in his face he's like, "Who in the fuck are you fooling?" Yeah. And they just clearly you went through a lot of this because you could still see the bleachiness in my hair and the best part about that too is A, I didn't really care for the movie, and then secondly, my father was so pissed at me for bleaching my hair and shaving my head. Oh, man. And I had to drive him to work because his car was broken down, so I'm sitting there driving, and he was sitting there. He's a big blue-collar guy the whole way into Sioux Falls because I grew up in small town South Dakota, and he's just sitting there just looking out the window, and I'm sitting there trying not to laugh because I'm sitting He's so mad right now. Like because I came downstairs. He's like, "Time to take me to work," and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna go well."
Those kind of stories actually what make me love my dad a lot more because like he's a little more loose or like not as vocal about like those kind of criticism, but instead of like having like the kind of thing, he'll just kind of patiently just sit there like, yeah.
Well, he's gotten better about it, but I can imagine it was a major shocker for him. I came downstairs with a shaved head and
like the Twisted Sister dad.
Hair.
What are you gonna do with your life?
I think another one, the second one.
I'm gonna be.
I count it.
It's the second one I saw. Both were with my mother. 40-Year-Old Virgin with my mother.
Oh, nice.
All the sex scenes in that film were so awkward with me and my mom.
My favorite scene about that movie was like when like was giving like the Brazilian wax.
Oh yeah.
Or attempting to just
nipple fuck. Kelly Clarkson.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I actually watched that one when Comedy Central was airing those kind of movies on TV.
Yeah,
I don't know if they still do.
Secret Stash.
Y'all ready for them shameless plugs?
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Just one last thing. My first R-rated movie was the original 1997 Starship Troopers, which awesome because I went with my parents, and so my dad sat on one side and my mom sat on the other, and I was sandwiched between them through all the co-ed shower scenes.
Oh, beautiful boobies.
Like awkward.
What did your parents think of it?
My dad hated it because he hates all science fiction, and my mom loved it because she loves all science fiction.
Oh, but your dad loves boobs.
Yeah, but it was weird. There were aliens.
Mommy,
my
hands feel funny.
Yeah. That was terrible.
Because I've read
done
that
with all
was a
those
really
bugs.
polarizing movie. People either were like, fascism, I hate it, and other people were like, fascism, it's clever.
No.
No, my mom would have just
Tears
been
for
like,
Fears saw
aliens,
1984.
hell yeah, and my dad just would have been like, it was dumb and there were aliens, you know?
You guys seen The Meaning of Life by Monty Python?
Oh, I love that movie.
I just
Okay.
rewatched it 2 weeks
So, that scene where John Cleese teaches sex ed where he brings in his wife.
Yeah.
And he's getting chased to death by the naked ladies as well and blah, blah, blah. My dearest friend growing up got that movie we're both huge Monty Python fans, so his dad bought him a movie for Christmas. So he sat there with his family on Christmas Day in high school and watched it, and I'm like, oh, dude. And he goes, yeah, that was a tough scene to get through. And I'm like, yeah, I can about imagine.
Oh, Erica. My dad and brother took me to Austin Powers when I was 9. Dad had no idea what it was about.
Man, that whole scene where it's like he's just running through the mall naked.
Yeah. And all the fake people's names like Dixie Normus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest Dickus. Life of Brian's also a really great Python movie.
Yeah.
All of them are great.
They're all amazing.
Shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs.
All right, Cole, you want to start?
Well, we have open mics this week at down at the brewery.
Yep.
Wood Grain. I always have to make sure which week. So that starts at 8.
Yep. That Bosses.
So that one's good, and then Bosses on Wednesday. That's a lot of fun. You guys can come down there. I know a lot of people have been asking me about that, but that place is a lot of fun. Like everybody's like, the pizza place? I'm like, yeah, you can go in there and freaking have the awesome stuff. So apparently we got to get the word out for Jeremy and everybody a little bit more, because they're like, I didn't even know they did that or had that stuff. I'm like, that's pretty freaking cool. And I'm like, yeah, you should come on down, check it out. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff down there. So you got that, and then I think towards another week or so we'll do Full Circle's probably coming up again. So yeah, that one's a lot of fun, but I like all the places for different reasons because they all bring a different flavor and different people. And so, but yeah, I try hitting up all those all the time. But yeah, I've got my podcast, I guess, the Colecast podcast, which I haven't done in about a year. But thinking about rebranding it and getting some stuff going. again, my basement. So I'll be looking out for that. I'm going to keep pushing that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to keep writing some comedy and having some fun and being engaging online. So just started my own comedian page, so that way I don't have to annoy the piss out of all my normal friends and family with my dick and fart jokes on my personal page. So yeah, you guys can check that one out. So thanks.
Joey, what are you?
Well, I'm working on a project with my good friend Jacob Lemme, and it's some really, really exciting stuff.
I'm pretty sure our fathers know each other. Your dad's a preacher?
Tim
Holy
Lemme?
shit balls, man. Yeah,
I want a nice sponsorship from Our Savior's Lutheran Church, so we can no longer swear, unfortunately, at the show.
Darn.
Tim Lemme. My name is
Shish kebab.
Cole Boeve. I come from the loin of Steve Boeve. You know him well.
But yeah, no, it's small world.
Yeah,
like.
so I saw Lemmy earlier, and then when I saw your face, your top preacher, I'm like, and I'm like, it makes sense. Yeah, no kidding, crazy, small world. Yeah,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, my dad and your uncles and everybody, they go a long ways back.
I'm sure they do, man.
Long ways back.
Dude, my dad and his brothers are quite the prolific guys around like South Dakota.
Yeah, for real. So anyway, sorry to sidetrack that, but here we are, people. The Sioux Empire.
Both your histories.
Yeah, Zach Dresch did his research.
I'm just here adding on to the family legacy at this point, being in my underwear.
Oh, that's funny.
Right?
Anyway, sorry to interrupt that. I'll shut up.
It was more important, trust me.
Well, no. Yeah.
Well, we're working on a project right now. We are doing a lot of interesting art rock and psychedelic stuff and trying to bring some funk and metal grooves into it as well. It's really just kind of a hodgepodge of a really unique set of musical inspirations that I've had that I haven't had an outlet for them, and a unique group of ideas that Jacob's also had that he hasn't really had an outlet for, and we've been melding them together for the last couple weeks, and we've been getting some really awesome jams coming together. And
yeah, like we have a buddy of ours that I've always wanted him to actually like play and like show off some music that for like the longest time, and so like I'm really happy that like I'm being a leverage for you. But I mean, it's wonderful actually like jamming with you. It's good chemistry there.
People have been trying to get me to get out of my room for a while now. It's finally happening, so I'm excited to see what happens.
But yeah, no, the project's called Carl Limo, and then we will be playing at the Post Pilgrim Art Gallery the last Friday of May. So that should be a fun time.
Very cool.
Come see us with a band. We'll have a band.
Yeah.
Woo. Bring your friends. Bring your mom's friends. Bring your dad's friends.
And I need to learn to go home more. Actually, I have a lot. This is the 24th. I'm in. This is my fourth band now. Yeah, I know. It's with
we need
Cody.
Intervention for you.
I know. It's Cody.
Is it aliens do exist?
No. It's a new project with Cody and Johnny Frito. It's called.
I love Fritos.
Yeah. The band's called Sharon's Little Helpers. Because the reason why we came up with that name is because we were working on a song, and we came up with an ooh part, and then Cody goes, "What word should we put there?" Instead, I'm like, "What about Sharon?" He goes,
"So you guys are gonna be Hanson then?"
Yeah. So Sharon's Little Helpers. We have a show at Club David with the Tinderbox next week, or next Sunday. And Improv Falls has a show March 28th at Remedy. And then I'm hosting what is called the Tournament of Champions at Bosses on March 29th, where it's basically a bunch of past Bosses Comedy champion contest winners compete to be who announce who will be the reigning champion of the tournament.
There can be only one.
And Nate asked me to host, so I don't know, and I won last month. I don't know if he's just like, yeah, you're not going to count.
You're not going to win.
I don't know. Maybe just want me to, I don't know. Nate, I'll talk to you. Whatever. I do it for fun. It's fun.
Hey, if you run into him Guitar Center, you'll have a good word to talk with him about.
Right, yeah. And then Improv Falls has 2 more shows. April 12th at Icon, and then April 13th at White Wall Sessions.
Oh, nice.
Live streaming.
Oh, that's super fun.
Record store day, so that'll be cool.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I got married in Brian Deitz's backyard, or for the owner last stop there, so I told him, cool. I'm like, you should start letting us do some stand-up down there, dog.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So.
That'd be cool, yeah. But yeah, there's probably more with that in mind. I'll be emceeing the Safety Summit at South Dakota CGA 811 Summit. That's actually true.
It just sounds like a barcode.
No. On
CGA 111.
Is this an Aphex Twin album?
Yeah. So if you're an excavator or a locator, you'll probably see me on Tuesday.
Random plug for me. I got called last week, I couldn't believe it, to speak at the Emergency Nurses Association of South Dakota to be their closing speaker for an hour. And I was like, huh. And they're like, yeah, we were looking for somebody with some healthcare experience that's kind of funny, charismatic, and that you can do some stuff, and da-da-da-da. And somebody who's fun and lighthearted, makes jokes, and we know that you're doing your stand-up stuff. Now I'm like, clearly you have not been to one of my sets. Yeah. But I'm like, so I get to do an hour in October for the Emergency Nurses Association for their conference.
Drink as much saline solution on stage as
I am going to put a tube in any hole I can for you guys.
Fill up a piss bag for me. And just throw it into the audience.
Just swing it. Awesome. Well, anyway.
Someone in the face like,
it breaks.
Bag of pee. Oh, no!
I hated it when Gallagher did this.
Smash it.
There's a reason why he changed to watermelons.
Not at this point, Gallagher just like has his IV bag and he just like...
It's like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that.
All right. Well, I'm going to eat that Werther's now.
Yeah. So Cole, yes, Robert, your famous plug.
We'll not be doing this October.
Podcasts, Catch the Fever, Sioux Empire Podcast, The Dresch Code, Urban Indians Podcast, Macabre Grimoire, and of course, coming in September, we're going to be doing an open casting call, hopefully in 2 weeks, once my team's got all the paperwork together, for Edge Case, my sci-fi fantasy anthology podcast. It's going to be fucking awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, congratulations on this place. I've been following you guys for a little while, and this is a cool little setup. So thanks for hosting it and doing all that stuff. I really appreciate it. So I appreciate everything that the artists are doing around here. So I am very gracious.
Sioux Falls is forever growing scene so far. I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. At least I hope.
And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah. Yes. Cole, Joey, Jacob, Robert, as always, thank you. Exactly. Jordan in spirit.
The ghost of Jordan.
Chili puppets. Yeah. And you've been listening to The Dresch.
The Dresch Code.
The Dresch Code.